Greetings, YouTubers. This is Inland Northwest Native News, and Merry Christmas. I'm your host, Jeff Ferguson.
And I'm your co-host, Margo Hill.
All right, welcome back. We thank you once again for joining us. This is going to be our last show before Christmas, so we thought we'd get a little festive. We got the red memo, and Santa's going to be joining us for today. Not that we're going to hear a lot of input from this guy, but anyhow, he's here to stay. All right, so if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. If this is your first time joining us, we'd like to thank you for joining us. Say lemlemsh. We'd also like to invite you to join us.
We tune in Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 8:30. We're here to discuss ongoing current issues facing Indian country, the local, regional, and national news for Indian country. So be sure to like and subscribe.
Yeah, here at Inland Northwest Native News, we cover news and events for 11 tribes of the Inland Northwest, as far east as the Blackfeet, as far west as the Colvilles, up to the Kalispel, the Kootenai of Idaho, the Salish Kootenai. Who else we got in here? We got all the way down south to the Umatilla, the Warm Springs, the Yakama, Colville, Coeur d'Alene, Spokane, and the Nimiipuu. We try to stay current. We do local news, regional news, national news, that kind of stuff. And we're happy that you're here. We appreciate you. And this is really all about giving natives from the Inland Northwest a platform. So if you have any story ideas, be sure to message us. We also are monitoring our live feed, so if you have any comments, you can comment live and check that out. We also will be taking interviews, and we're able to do interviews. We've got this fancy new switcher here. It allows us to tap into Zoom meetings or play videos live for you here. So be sure to check that, or let us know if you have any interviews.
Before we get started, Jeff, I'd like to give a quick shout out to some of our newest subscribers, Louis Paul, Chris Ostrander, Bridget Ray, and Mark Aline. Thanks for subscribing, and we look forward to hearing from you. Shout out to Joey Cohen. She's over at the Colville Tribal Gaming Commission. She sent us a story last week, the Vogue, and we ran it. So send us your stories. We're interested.
Yeah, and shout out to my buddy Irv. Sent us a story this morning out of Keller. We're going to get to that here in a little bit, but thanks for sending that in. All right, real quickly, we are looking for a name for our morning show. You know, we have been doing this. This is our 12th episode. We're celebrating a dozen, and we haven't been able to pinpoint a name that we'd like, but give you an idea of some of the names. We had Brenda Cates suggested Native Pride. We also had Native Perspective. Native Perspective, one of our subscribers says, News. That's a good one. What do you got?
There was also someone suggested Teepee Talk. One of my favorites comes from the Twa-le Nation. Justine James, my buddy, said name it Savage at Heart. Another great one from Coeur d'Alene tribal member Net Pion says Stoomshin. It means close friend or best friend. In our Indian language, our tribal language, the Salish dialect, Stoomshin it also kind of references the big toe, like saddled right up there next to your other toes, a big toe. So those are just some fun names: Stoomshin, Savage at Heart, Teepee Talk. We want to hear from you. We'd love to hear what names you have to suggest. So Jeff, I'm going to go ahead and get started. We want to remember a great leader out of the Yakama Nation, Melvin Sampson. He is walking on. He has passed, and we just remember Melvin Roger Sampson. He will be forever regarded as a leader among the Yakama Nation. He worked for betterment of Indigenous people across the country. He was a long-time councilman. He was the driving force behind establishing the Indian National Finals Rodeo. He worked for improvements in healthcare for Native Americans nationwide. For his own people, he made sure of the construction of the Yakama Nation Indian Health Services Clinic just there in Toppenish. He fought for fish restoration, and especially General Council Chairman Roger Feander said he grew up with Sampson, and he's going to miss his roping partner. So we remember Melvin Sampson today.
All right. Well, it sounds like he led a very, very full life. Thank you for that story. That's a good one. So we have an announcement from the Colville Tribe. They announce a curfew in the Keller district. In the Spiel in Washington, the Colville Tribe today imposes a curfew in the Keller district. And this is actually from yesterday. The curfew is active each day between the hours of 9 p.m. and 6 a.m. During this time, all residents of the reservation and visitors to the reservation must remain indoors. Travel is allowed only if essential, such as to or from a verifiable place of essential employment or to seek urgent medical care. The curfew is active immediately, and it will remain in place until further notice. Those who violate the curfew may be cited or prosecuted pursuant to the Colville Tribal Code. The previously announced curfew in the Inchlim district also continues in effect until further notice. The chairman of the Colville Tribe, Rodney Costin, said, "Unfortunately, COVID-19 has continued to spread across the Colville Reservation, and it is now the Keller District experiencing a severe outbreak of COVID-19 infections. As of December 21st, there are 15 active cases of COVID in Keller and a number of people in quarantine while they await test results or to see if symptoms develop. It is absolutely necessary to impose this curfew to preserve the peace, health, safety, and welfare of the reservation and all surrounding communities. This curfew will minimize in-person interactions, which is the primary way the virus is spread." We'll leave the links to this curfew in the comment section below.
So Jeff, tribes across the region are working really hard to fight COVID. The first vaccination was the Pfizer vaccination. That required the intense cold. And so now also shipping out to Indian Health Service clinics is the Moderna vaccination. That's coming out as well. So look forward to listening to find out from your tribe when those are going to be available.
Yeah, from my understanding, that Moderna vaccine has a longer shelf life. It doesn't have to be kept at sub-zero temperatures. It can be kept in refrigeration for not necessarily extended period of time, but definitely longer than the Pfizer vaccine. So definitely, we'll keep an eye on that and see how things go.
Okay, so out of Montana, the Salish Kootenai, big news, historic news. The House tonight considering the Montana Water Rights Protection Act. The chairwoman has put out a statement, Shelley Fiant, that this is one of most significant days in the history of our people and one that will have a profound and positive impact on the future of the Flathead Reservation for the next century. So we have Chairwoman Shelley Fiant with a passage of 3019. They'll be able to rehabilitate and modernize the Flathead Indian Irrigation Project and restore the damages to fish and wildlife habitat caused by the project. So we're looking forward. There's been a lot of support and protection for farmers and ranchers who also depend on the irrigation for their livelihoods. The chairwoman stated, "I cannot express how much we appreciate the hard work of Montana congressional delegation."
So this article out of the Sharkusta News goes on to state, from Senator Tester's initial introduction of the bill 4 years ago to Senator Daines' introduction, amendments, and work with the Trump administration this year, and to both of our senators urging their respective leaders to include the bill in the Omnibus Appropriations Bill, and to Congresswoman, I hope I say this right, Gianforte? I'm gonna go with Gianforte. Congressman Gianforte's work with the minority leader in the House all played pivotal roles, and the residents of Montana should be thankful for their efforts. This is something they've been trying to do for a while, and so it's moved on. This article goes on to state, "We certainly are grateful. We also express our appreciation to the many agriculture and conservative groups across Montana and even across the country who also helped advocate for passage of this truly historic and important bill. This will conclude a very long and difficult effort to quantify the water rights of the, I hope I say this right, Salish, Kalispe, and Xanca people. This means we can avoid decades of acrimonious litigation on streams across much of Montana and protect many streams with sufficient amounts of water to ensure fish can survive and Montana's residents can create and fish as they have for generations. The bill will also restore the National Bison Range." This is pretty exciting. The bill will also restore the National Bison Range back to tribal ownership, where it will be professionally managed for bison conservation and will remain open to the public. So they're getting it back, but they're leaving it open. The implementation of the settlement will create thousands of good-paying jobs and help boost our regional economy. This is a once-in-a-lifetime moment for CSKT. So congratulations to the Confederated Salish Kootenai Tribes. That's really exciting news. We're happy to hear that. I know you had some commentary on water adjudication.
Yeah, so tribes are actually, they're using their traditional names. Many of our tribes, Flathead isn't something that the Salish Kootenai people would call themselves. So they're talking about the different dialects, Salish, Kalispeh, and Kasanka, their traditional names. Yeah, a lot of tribes across the region will be having to deal with adjudication. As Jeff mentioned, quantifying their water rights. So under the law, many of the tribes have a priority date. For tribal federal Indian law, we talk about the Winters Doctrine, and the Winters Doctrine sets the priority of the water right to the establishment of the reservation. So tribes most often have the senior water right for any of the water adjudication issues. So we're looking forward to that. Here in Washington, we have the Hearst decision that makes it real complicated. But tribes have a priority, a senior water right, if you will. So they get their water first, and now we're getting forced to quantify it.
Well, it's really exciting going into this new administration with Deborah Haaland being tapped for the Secretary of Interior, because it's deals like this that she has the opportunity to help get through. So it'll be exciting to see what happens. And congratulations to the Confederated Tribes over there in Montana. That's really exciting. The bison range, we got to go over there, check out that.
Yeah, we're looking forward to hear more about the Montana Water Rights Protection Act. We'll follow that.
Yeah, we'll follow up on that. All right, so updates from the Spokane Rez. Clinic closure. The David C. Wynkoop Memorial Clinic will be closed Thursday, December 24th and Friday, December 25th for Christmas holiday. They will reopen Monday, December 28th at 8 a.m. And COVID vaccine update. The Weapon at Service Unit will receive our first shipment of 100 vaccines later today. If all goes accordingly, we will be vaccinating healthcare personnel at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. And that would be today. So they're supposed to be starting right now. Essential frontline workers and active DCWMC patients, residents of the Spokane Indian Reservation, 75 years and older, will be the next to receive vaccinations. Please call the clinic at 258-4517 if you or someone you know is 75 years or older and an active clinic patient or resident of the Spokane Indian Reservation, so we can begin the scheduling process. Please remember, masks, social distancing, and frequent hand washing are still necessary even after you are vaccinated. Clinic staff can also help with any questions you may be regarding the vaccination. And this is per acting CEO Teresa Martinez. So shout out to Teresa. Very nice update. For us. Yeah, so we got to be sure, even after the vaccination, it is still possible to get the virus on your hands. So that's what they're saying. You got to keep washing your hands. Even if you don't become infected, it's still possible to carry the virus. So
yeah. Blackfeet Rez Update. Their public notice that for the first time in many years, the Blackfeet tribal offices will be closed beginning December 23rd through January 24th. Essential workers will continue to provide services, as well as the on-call departments, program and staff as a needed basis. It's just an opportunity for the employees who have continued to work since COVID-19, have a little time with their families. So as we gear up for the holidays, it's upon us. The Blackfeet Tribal Business Council and tribal employees want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
All right, moving right along. On a brighter side, we have a story from the Seattle Kraken. It's the Kraken. The Seattle Kraken has a story. This is called Original Thinking, and this is awesome. This is great. I can't believe they did this. I'm going to read from this real quick. Original Thinking, the newest partner of the Kraken and Oak View Group. So for those of you that don't know, that's the new Seattle hockey team. Truly Hard Seltzer joins the commitment to genuine and diverse relationships and asks a Yakama National muralist to signify the occasion. This is the guy they're talking about right here. Well, I'll go one more. This is him right here. This is Toma Villa. So Toma, he is a Yakama mural artist. He's got murals all throughout the Northwest. He's got a really nice piece in the Port Angeles, the outside the
Yeah.
Port Angeles Bus Transit Center. It's just huge. It's like 30 feet. And then he's got another one inside. I believe it's the Twa-le or Suquamish Gymnasium. It's huge. It's massive. He does amazing work. Toma is just an amazing artist. I'm going to go on and tell you a little bit, but you can check out this picture. The Seattle Kraken and Oak Group. Oh, wait. From the beginning, our organization has been focused on building genuine and diverse relationships within our community, said Todd Lewicki. We're excited to partner with Twa-le, a company that's buying into our commitment to the Pacific Northwest. It's a natural partnership to help us continue to make hockey a game for everyone. To celebrate and signify the partnership, Twa-le commissioned Yakama Nation artist Toma to create a mural via his interpretation of the Kraken team, named and branded the mural. Name and brand. The mural was installed and unveiled Friday morning on an outside wall at the Kraken team store at Chandler's Cove in the South Lake Union neighborhood. For his part, Villa appreciates the chance to engage fans and city visitors with his mural. So I'll show this kind of a pull back a little bit. When fans come to the store, I hope they get an idea of the original people who lived here, said Villa during an interview this week at the Suquamish Longhouse studio where he creates. I want fans to get an idea how the canoe comes from this sea. Also, the dress and clothing and cedar woven hats that the designs on the paddles are Salish. It's an opportunity to tell the story of original people who lived here. As it turns out, Villa has been Toma Villa has been thinking for months, even before Twa-le contacted him, about a story in which a girl goes on a journey to save her sister, battling all sorts of sea monsters and visiting different villages on the way. The mural commission, which Villa describes as the Battle of the Kraken, fit perfectly into the story vision. Seattle sports fans are about to discover how powerful the NHL can be, and all of us at Twa-le are thrilled to be a part of it, said Don Lane, vice president of brand at Twa-le. Kicking off our partnership with the mural by Toma Villa is a great way to show how Twa-le brings color and flavor to the communities we serve. We're looking forward to unveiling more and more ways we're bringing our partnership to life for many seasons to come. So that's really cool. I think that's exciting. So Toma Villa. Yeah, we're definitely going to want to check that out when we get a chance to head over there.
So I wanted to share a little story out of the East Oregonian, Umatilla. Just the human toll of COVID-19, a survivor remembering how the virus pushed him to the brink. This is down in Pendleton. From his hospital room, 200 miles away from home, Twa-le Abrahamson got on the phone with his uncle. Through the phone, Abrahamson's uncle sang him a song from the Washat, the religion of the Umatilla, Cayuse, and Walla Walla peoples. In the Umatilla language, the uncle sang of light penetrating the body and the mind. It was July 19th. Abrahamson had been hospitalized for almost 2 weeks across different facilities, and he began to weep. Abrahamson doesn't know exactly how he got the virus or where he contracted it. His best guess is at the Arrowhead Travel Plaza in Mission, a frequent stop that he makes to get his favorite brand of bottled water. But he already knew he wasn't feeling well the time he went to his cousin's funeral in Eastern Washington. His cousin had died when he swerved his car to miss a black bear, and he hit a tree. Abrahamson is a member of the Umatilla Indian Reservation. He knew that travel was discouraged during the pandemic, especially when you're sick. But he felt too heartbroken not to go to his cousin's funeral. There were precautions at the funeral that reassured him. Attendees wore masks. They were socially distanced. All of these things, But his mother, Sandy Sampson, worried about the symptoms he was exhibiting after returning home. He remembered accidentally spraying a bottle of cologne in his face while unpacking. He still couldn't smell. So he asked his mom to take him to the emergency room at St. Anthony's Hospital, where they treated him for pneumonia. A test later confirmed that he was positive for COVID-19. So Abrahamson, we see his condition quickly deteriorated, but hospital workers administered the antiviral medication to prevent him from falling into a coma. So just a heart-wrenching story of one of our own young Umatilla Indians.
Yeah, that's him in the photograph there in the center, and then off to the left is his uncle. This Don Sampson, who's a very strong environmental leader. Don has done all sorts of different things, but this article goes on to talk about how he really leaned on his family and how it's the story of his recovery, how he came back from COVID, going into a coma, and then having his family and the support of them really helped him to get through this. So it's a really, really good story. Again, it's the East Oregonian, and this is by Antonio Sierra. So if you have a chance, check it out. We're going to leave the link in the comment section below. But prayers to him and his family, and hopefully the rest of them are getting through this.
We know the power of our own medicine, of our songs, of our way of doctoring our own folks. So great story. Next, Jeff, I just quickly wanted to share that the National Indian Child Welfare Association is going to be having a conference gathering. They're looking forward to a great selection of vendors and exhibitors from nonprofits, arts and crafts. Register, so spaces are limited. We'll leave that link. You can follow the NICWA on Instagram. Be looking for that gathering.
Yeah, so NICWA, they're looking for vendors. It's pretty exciting to see those guys, the work that they do. The National Indian Child Welfare Association, their work is based on ICWA, which is the Indian Child Welfare Act, which was passed a little while back to help ensure that Indian kids are being cared for. Can you talk a little bit about ICWA?
Yeah, so the 70s scoop, there was a large number of Native, Indigenous young people who were taken from their homes. White caseworkers didn't understand, social workers didn't understand our tribal ways. Sometimes we were with our grandmothers and they look at that as neglect, being with your grandparents. And so thousands of Indian children from the United States to Canada, it's called the 70s scoop. And so we had to institute the Indian Child Welfare Act in 1978 to stop the rapid removal of our most precious resource, our children. And it gave the tribe standing so that tribes could intervene on those Indian children being taken away.
Yeah, it's that was such a big deal. It really was. My mom was a social worker. Judy Lippman, rest her soul. She worked with the Indian Child Welfare Act, and she used to go around to the reservation and check on the little Indian kids, make sure they had a warm bed and clean clothes and food and that kind of thing, just make sure they're being cared for. But I know that deep down in her heart, that's where her heart lied. She wanted to help the little Indian kids, and it was a big problem when we had the adoption era, relocation, all these different things that were affecting our generations. Is intergenerational. And so to see these guys, the work that they do, my hands are constantly raised to them. Yeah. To help preserve the next generation. So.
Shout out to our Indian child welfare advocates. Shout out to our caseworkers. Jeff, our Indian child welfare folks, they have the hardest jobs. They have to go out, but they're making sure our kids are safe. So we shout out to our caseworkers and social workers out there in Indian country.
And again, they're looking for vendors for an upcoming event. So, and also, if you want, you can follow them on Instagram at NICWA 1983. That's NICWA 1983, and see some of the work that they do on Instagram. Pretty exciting. So be sure to check them out. If you're an artist, check out their vending situation. The links are in the comment section below.
And Jeff, can I just give one more
Sure.
plug? Please, we need foster families at all of our tribes. Spokane, Colville, Umatilla, Kalispell. We all need foster families. Jeff and I have fostered a few children. It's extra work. But our caseworkers need a place to put children if they have to do a removal. So please look into that.
Even sometimes just over the holiday seasons, sometimes these kids, if you were in their shoes, where would you rather be? Would you rather be in a state facility, or would you rather be with the family for Christmas? Things along that lines. We had one that we hosted during the Christmas season, and it was for a short time. They're not always permanent. Sometimes they just need somebody to go stay with for a short time. So even if you can do that kind of thing, it's definitely a way of giving back, helping your community. So
yeah, you can provide respite care, which is just for a weekend or just to give the caregivers a little bit of a break.
Yeah. So I have a quick
you
comment.
Have a great story.
Yeah, I do. I got a quick comment here from Irv Schlufer, Coeur d'Alene elder in about 10 minutes. He's heading out to Plummer for his COVID shot. Oh, so apparently they're giving COVID shots out in Plummer. How exciting. Well, good luck to you, Irv. We hope that you stay safe and watch the roads. I know it's still cold out there, and hopefully it's not too achy. That's what I've been hearing, is that the injection points are kind of achy. So good luck to you, Irv. Moving right along, we have a story called Indigenous Film Television Projects in the Works. This comes out of Indian Country Today. This is pretty exciting. And as 2020 comes to a close, the film industry strives to recover in the midst of the pandemic. Film studios, production companies, and native actors and producers continue to work behind the scenes of the film industry to bring more Indigenous voices to the digital world. Here are a lot of film projects in various stages of development that are coming to video-on-demand streaming platforms such as Netflix, Disney, HBO, Hulu, possibly theater, video on demand, and television. I got a couple different ones I wanted to share with you. This one is called Canyon. This is called Canyon del Muerto with Wes Studi. There's also Tatanka Means and David Midthunder are among a cast on Canyon del Muerto. The writer and director are Corte Voorhees. So we want to check that one out. We also have Reservation Dogs. This is Taika Waititi and Sterling Harjo. They've been working on this FX and Disney Plus miniseries for some time. This half an hour episodic series. I'm going to get this up. Got to catch my photos up. This episodic series. Is that the right one? This episodic series. Has Devry, Jacobs, Pauline, Alexis, and Lane Factor, and is about 4 native teenagers growing up on Oklahoma Rez. So, Wild Indian. This is the one. Wild Indian right here. So this is Michael Grayas and Chasky Spencer will join Jesse Eisenberg in Wild Indian about 2 men learning to comfort a deep secret they both hold regarding the death of a schoolmate. The release date has not yet been announced, but you definitely want to keep an eye out for that one. And then this one here, Sovereign. Ava DuVernay, N. Bird Running Water, Sydney Freeland, and Shaz Bennett have combined efforts to the upcoming project Sovereign, a pilot that has received a nod commitment from NBC. This project will be the first time a Native family drama has been created for network television. The story follows a Native family and chronicles the lives, loves, and loyalties of a sprawling Indigenous family struggling to control the future of their tribe against outside forces and themselves. So, a sprawling Indigenous family, believe it or not. No, I'm just kidding. This film is Sovereign, and this series is Sovereign, and we definitely want to check this out. I'm really excited. It has contributions from Sydney Freeland. This is Sydney right here. Sydney Freeland is an exciting Native American filmmaker. She did a film about 5 or 6 years ago called Drunktown's Finest that was set in New Mexico. I think it was set in Gallup, and it aired. It actually screened with my short film, The Midnight Mine, down at the Hollywood Theater in Portland. I was really excited to go down there to see that. I went down for the the One Flaming Arrow Native Arts and Film Festival in Portland. And that was really exciting. But I was hoping to get a chance to see her. I was hoping she was going to show up. I wanted to see that film on the big screen. And man, they just knocked it out of the park. Again, the name of that film was Drunktown's Finest, if you get a chance to see it. The name of this series is called Sovereign. It's coming up. There's one more series that you got to keep an eye out for. This is Taika Waititi Amore, and is a writer and director, and Billy Luther and Navajo are teaming up to create a semi-autobiographical film about Luther's life called Fry Bread Face and Me. Fry Bread Face and Me. It follows the story of 2 native cousins. They're cousins. Cousins. 2 native cousins who come together during a summer of herding sheep. The project was one of 10 projects selected by the 2020 Sundance Institute's Director and Screenwriters Lab. So this is a Sundance endorsed effort. It's about herding sheep, and cousins coming together. This is really exciting. Talk about indigenousness at its finest. You know, if you want the real deal, this really sounds like it's going to be hardcore real deal Indian stuff, and it's really, I can't wait to see it. We'll leave the links. This ran in Indian Country today. The links are going to be in the comment section below. So that being said, we're about running out of time. We have this other last one here, which is
Jeff, I am so excited to tell you a story about Twa-le Abrahamson-Swan. She is a modern day warrior, and she has been recognized by the Spokesman Review and others as a difference maker. She has been coordinating relief efforts from the wildfire to pandemic relief on reservations throughout the Northwest. Twilla is amazing. She earned her environmental science degree from UW when she lived there in Tacoma. She worked for the Spokane Tribe in air quality. She is just amazing. And her mom, Debbie Abrahamson, shout out to Debbie. They were really the fighting force along with their sisters and daughters, Shaw Society. They have been fighting mining companies who have been polluting Indian reservations from here, the Spokane Indian Reservation, to Navajo. The Shaw Society, they're just amazing. But Twilla, has just, she's a modern day warrior. She has been working with the River Warriors Society, getting supplies out from, Okanagan to Inchalim throughout the Northwest. I just can't tell you enough. Well, Jeff, you worked with Twilla on the Intertribal Beat. Yeah. So you're pretty familiar with Twilla and her work.
So Twilla and I had, we started a show on KYRS called Intertribal Beat, and we ran Tuesday from 2 to 4 p.m. And we started out with an hour, and we weren't really sure how it was going to go. And I don't know, it was a couple months in, they were like, man, you guys got so much content. We're going to need to give you 2 hours. So they ended up giving us 2 hours. Yvonne came in and filled in and helped us. We also had an old friend from Eastern Washington University student, Gabe Bylily, Danae. He was a really good contributor to us. But working with Twilla was truly an honor. She was amazing at what she did. She brought in the news. She really kept her finger on the pulse of environmentalism. And it was really just it was a treat and an honor to work with her. So I'm happy to see that they honored her. She does such an amazing job. Her heart is always in the right place. And she's always like 2 steps ahead of everything. She has a really good knack for being on point. So yeah,
a true woman warrior. And I got to tell you, Jeff, a lot of these things she doesn't get paid for. She doesn't have a foundation. She just puts the word out there. They get the supplies. They deliver them to the people who need them. She's traditional. We see her out there digging roots, picking berries. She's amazing. So difference maker, Twa-le Abrahamson-Swan.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that being said, we're pretty much out of time. So we thank you once again for joining us. We will see you coming up next week. We want to, again, if you is your first time joining us, check out some of the old episodes. We have some stuff from, we got, what do we got on there? We got old ones. We had Ryan Abe. We had Tony Louie. We had Iron Woman Jingle Dress Dancers. Check out some of the old episodes that we did. There's some great content on there. There are, I think, 11 or 12 full episodes up, and then this was our 12th live feed. So we're going to continue doing our live feed 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8 a.m. And then I'll be posting full episodes with interviews and all these different things coming up in the future too. So with that said, happy holidays.
Yep. Merry Christmas, everybody. We read your comments. If you're making comments, then we read them. We try to respond. We're following news based on what people send us. So if you've got an idea for our interview, reach out, let us know. Like and subscribe. And we want to wish you the happiest holidays. We're ready to get rid of 2020, just like you, Jeff. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of COVID. And we're looking forward to 2021.
Yeah, real quick shout out. Chiming in, we have Mr. Nobody. He says, in regards to natives in entertainment, I recommend Red Nation's podcast episode, Behind the Buckskin Curtain. All right, so that sounds like a good one. Thanks for chiming in, Mr. Nobody. And happy holidays until Monday. We'll see you then.